It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and we're in for a rematch of Super Bowl IX. It's the Minnesota Vikings and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Coming up next.
The NFL has come to Germany as you get a look inside Deutsche Bank Park here in the bustling city of Frankfurt. Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past always said, the key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
Here's the rookie from Alabama, Will Reichard, ready to get us started. And we are underway here on EA Sports. And able to get this out to the 25. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
Every time he leads his team out, there's no questioning he's put the work in to earn his place in the NFL. There's no shortage of stories we've heard throughout his career about the effort he puts in to be in this spot. And that motivates everybody on his team. No surprise at all, they're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Rodgers now to throw. Completes it to Austin. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. To throw is Rodgers. A quick throw there is incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Set to punt, here's Cameron Johnston. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Leading them out is their rookie quarterback, the young man from the University of Michigan.
Tell you what, partner, he might just be a rookie, but he certainly looks the part of a veteran NFL starter, and he carries himself like one leading the offense out there. In a lot of ways, he is advanced as a first-year quarterback, and he came in and was right at home with this offense.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Working out of the gun is McCarthy. And this is going to be incomplete. Trying to find Jordan Addison that time, but now it'll be 3rd down. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. 3rd down from the gun, McCarthy. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin. .40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their 2nd offensive possession, and they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Now a play fake. Rodgers. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Jonathan Allen, the former first-round pick, getting in there to bring him down. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
A tough spot here. 3rd and 15. To throw, it's Rodgers. Under pressure, and they got to him again. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
This is 2nd and 8. McCarthy off the play fake. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Looking to throw, McCarthy. Out route, he finds his man. It's Jones. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. To the air with McCarthy. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Moore. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that will bring up 2nd down. An inside give to Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
Here's McCarthy. He's going to let this one go deep. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Steeler offense set to regain possession. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. On play action, it's Rodgers. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Warren. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And this is going to be a Steelers first down as he'll get this up to about the 42.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
They'll run on first down. Warren knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
They'll come up 2nd and 7. A first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Throwing now is Rodgers. That is caught. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The first catch of the ball game there for Metcalf. And a first down to boot.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender. Made him
what do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Up the middle they go. It's Warren. And really an excellent run. Sidestepping tacklers on his way to a pickup of 8. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Now a handoff up the middle. Warren. And he will have a Steelers first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
A lot depended on the spot there, and he got it, but it wasn't by much, was it? I remember Coach Madden talking about, depending on which foot the official used, that would tell you whether you had the first down or not. You want that upfield foot to be the one that spots the ball, don't you?
And you and I have the luxury of a couple extra views here in the booth, and he did get it, but not by much. And that'll be incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Up the middle they go. It's Warren. And they'll get him down inside the red zone at the 14. It's also a gain of 14. First down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
They'll keep it on the ground. Warren. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Throwing is Rodgers. Out route, and he connects with Freiermuth. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. 52 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Three 0 after 1 on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2 as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Warren is not going to get back to the line of scrimmage as they'll tackle him at the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, I know a defensive coordinator is going to be pretty excited about what he just saw there. Great knockback by their front. And now with the ball where it is, I would expect to see the offense throw the ball on 2nd and 3rd down here.
Warren. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Can this Vikings D hold up one more time? 3rd and goal. On the give, it's Warren. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Steelers have taken the lead. So the 2nd down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that, amazingly, a 17-play drive. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And now out comes Minnesota. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. And now a fake on the jet sweep and a give to Jones. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
From the shotgun, McCarthy. This one brought in by Jefferson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Jefferson has his first catch. He also has a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. On play action, McCarthy. He lets one go deep for Addison. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Pressure comes and the Steelers take him down. There's your co-NFL record holder, T.J. Watt, doing what he does best, terrorizing quarterbacks.
But you just knew that these rushers were eager to do that today. Put him on the ground. Their plan, introduce themselves individually to this rookie quarterback. They said hello in a big way there with a loss of double-digit yards on that sack.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Now McCarthy finds his man. There's Jordan Addison. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch. Not much yardage afterwards.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Here's 2nd and 4 from the 24. A handoff for Warren. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And this is going to be a Steelers first down as he gets this up past the 30.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. On the run, it's Warren. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 60 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd and 3. Now Rodgers. That's caught. It's Austin left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 46. They'll run it. Warren, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Here's a 2nd and 8. They toss it to Warren. Oh, and that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Got his man. It's Warren. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. 3rd down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
Well, sometimes despite the best planning, the defense actually has a plan as well, and they blanketed everyone on that play. They were able to close it down and spill him for a loss.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. He takes this for 3 to the 29. The Vikings on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11. Throwing is McCarthy. And Jones has it over the middle. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. The home team's offense and their running back Jaylen Warren headed back onto the field. And as a play caller, when you've got a guy who's running like this, you lean on him and your offensive line. He's had big hole after big hole to run through in this first half. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Now a 2nd and 6. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. Two minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Now Rodgers. And that will be incomplete. Mekhi Blackmon was right there to knock it away.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Vikings ready to go again on offense. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Here's 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun. McCarthy, open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Here now, 3rd and a yard. Operating from the gun, McCarthy. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Vikings first down, and comfortably so as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
Back to throw again. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. To the air again, McCarthy. Touchdown! Aaron Jones, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Well, CD, you know he's got great options at wide receiver, tight end, but there he looks to the backfield, and it results in a touchdown.
I love how you laid that out. So many options. You maybe forget about some of the ones that you should be covering. And they made them pay with that one, didn't they? You forget about the guys in the backfield? They're eligible too.
Point after try forthcoming. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Steelers taking over now late in this first half. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3, and take some momentum into the locker room. Now it's Rodgers. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
Here's Rodgers, and that's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Rodgers now to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
Rodgers to throw once more. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
On fourth down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Final 24 seconds of the first half as they come up here 1st and 10. Looking to throw McCarthy. Complete. Jefferson the target. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you back across the Atlantic to Orlando, as we say Guten Tag to our guys standing by. That's Jonathan Coachman. Coach? Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. A good, tight football game thus far. 10-7 the score as we resume action on EA Sports. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Vikings offense set to go to work to begin this third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half. The defense did its job of taking away a quick throw, but that's only half the battle because they've got to get to him before he can make a run for it. A little bit late containing him there, so he makes a nice gain out of a play that looked like it was in trouble.
McCarthy operating from the gun. His throw incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield of man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays just like that one we saw there.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. To the air with McCarthy. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Here's McCarthy. He gets it to Addison. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it's second down. From the shotgun, McCarthy. Over the middle, complete. That's more. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Going to get a break here for an injury. Aaron Jones is in some discomfort down on the field. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Looking to throw. McCarthy. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Mason. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. Back to throw. McCarthy. Looking left side. That's caught by Moore. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
So they'll pass on what would have been a 49-yard field goal attempt, and they're going for it on 4th down. They'll indeed go. Here's McCarthy. He's got his target. That's complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. A give to Jones. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I would think as a play call, you want to look for some quick hitters to your tight end. Any type of a route to replace where that linebacker was. Because when you saw the speed with which he reacted and stuffed that play, maybe use that speed against him in the future.
Here's Jones again on 2nd down. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. That is caught. And the Vikings are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
3rd and 4 is always a tough call. Maybe a little too long to run for it, but not too long to hit him on the quick slant. And that was well executed. Found the window and zipped it right in there.
Now McCarthy. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. 8 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Extra point attempt to follow here. It's good to make it 17-7. So that drive spans 13 plays. And it was all capped off by Justin Jefferson's touchdown reception. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a 2-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome? A little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out. And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the third quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose. And that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a first down.
Here's Warren. And, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now a run with Warren. And they'll hold him to 3 there as he takes this up to the 47. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw, it's Rodgers. He finds his man, complete. That's Warren. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
We can make this one pretty simple. Walked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line. Justin Jefferson and the rest of this offense, they've got their helmets back on and they're ready for this next series. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But, boy, he can explode at any moment.
Yeah, and when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way.
Now 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. McCarthy. That is incomplete.
I can assure you, setting up a screen is much more difficult than it appears. It requires excellent timing from everyone on the offense, and a defense's #1 goal is to throw that timing off.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Operating from the gun, McCarthy. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Good clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get him off the field with a 3-and-out.
And here's Ryan Wright now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Here's Austin. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Warren. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he had to reach for that one, but can't grab it. It's behind him, and it's incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Jefferson going to go in motion right. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Here's 3rd and 10. Back to throw. McCarthy. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
Now here's Ryan Wright now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And the Steelers set to take the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. Up the middle they go. Warren. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 90 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. They'll get this complete to Austin. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 18. 3 quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. On first down, it's Warren, and he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Here's 2nd and 7. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Slant route, and he's got Freiermuth. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Robert Woods. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Boswell for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a Robert Woods touchdown reception. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. Throwing is McCarthy. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now 2nd down. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
Running right, Jones. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up. And sensing the momentum maybe changing here a little bit, Charles.
Yeah, this defense is going to get off the field quickly, and their offense got them a touchdown last time they had the ball, so they should get another shot.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. And you sense the tide turning. They scored, then their defense forced the punt, and now a chance to ultimately take the lead here late. Open man, there's Darnell Washington. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
So from 135 all the way over to the other. Here's 1st and 10. Now run straight ahead with Warren. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 114 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. They'll keep it on the ground. Warren. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
From the 5 now, 2nd and a yard. Now a play fake. Rodgers. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Pat Freiermuth. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Steelers have taken a 4th-quarter lead.
There it is, partner. You see it. 4 fingers. What does that mean?
4 fingers. That signifies the 4th quarter's here.
That's right. Who's going to dominate? Usually both teams are holding them up. We own the 4th quarter, what we found out so far. 2 touchdowns here, and now they've taken the lead.
Yeah, 2nd one putting them in front. You know what I see on the other sideline, though? It seems like they've tensed up, had that lead. They were playing not to lose it, and they've lost it.
That's a great observation. When you play not to lose, you usually don't win.
Now, though, they'll have the opportunity to respond. So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Vikings head out to take over once again. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And he'll push ahead for about 3 to the 36. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
To the right side and complete to Jefferson. And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3. It leaves him with 4th and 1.
A short gain that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Steelers offense and Aaron Rodgers getting set for their next drive. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Warren. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. Coverage there by the safety, Harrison Smith.
Just because you've got the lead in the fourth, it doesn't mean you have to play it safe. I like the aggressive play call there to push it downfield. That time, it didn't work out.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Working out of the gun is McCarthy. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
Oh, this defense knows. Fourth quarter, they need to make a play. That one was ripe for the taking. Could have changed the complexion of the ball game, but it winds up incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Looking to throw. McCarthy to Jefferson on the slant. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a 1st down on that last catch as well. There go play action. Here's McCarthy. To the right side, and he's got more complete. So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. They'll look to throw again. And he'll go right back to Moore. Complete again. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. To the air again, McCarthy. Again, he finds Moore. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down. Looking to throw McCarthy. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. McCarthy operating from the gun. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 24-yard line. A 3rd down gain of 19.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Up the middle, Jones. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. On third down, here's Jones. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they've got a fourth down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked for. Where will the pressure come from? 4th and 6 now. Going for it. Here's McCarthy. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Steelers have just about sewn up this football game. Those INTs all sting, but you throw one in the red zone, I think especially as a rookie, maybe it stings a little bit more.
I think what you're saying is they don't all count the same, do they? Right? Interceptions in the red zone that you've given up points now, those are precious. So you have to learn from those and in a hurry.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Second and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Now Rodgers. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And they take a knee. Second and 11. Up the middle they go. Warren.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Rodgers will take a knee here, and that should be all she wrote.
Partner, they took a knee to finish this one off. To me, that's the only thing they lost in the fourth quarter. How about that comeback?
Yeah, trailed coming into the last frame. Got it done, taking the knee. That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the fourth quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. they're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come from behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long, everybody.